Alright guys, welcome back. The next tool we are going to be looking at is called the line tool, which is directly under the rectangle tool. The line tool allows you to draw lines on your project. Just like the rectangle tool, you are able to configure your line tools and make some adjustments to it as need be. Now, let's try to make some adjustments to the lines we have on the screen. Let's start with the top one. One of the adjustments you can make to your lines is the color adjustment. You can be able to change the color of your line from a particular line to from one color to another color. Now, we can see, let's change this to something lighter. As you can see, the color has been changed. Another adjustment you can make to your line is the thickness. We can increase the stroke of our line or reduce it. Right now, our stroke is on 1, but we can make, if we want our line to be thicker or lighter, we can increase this or reduce it. So let's say we put it at 3 or 4, and we can see we have a thicker line right here. So another adjustment you can make to our line is the um the start point adjustment. We can adjust what type of start point or end point our line has. So right here we can decide if our start point has an arrow or has a ball head, or the start point has a diamond shape, and so on and so forth. And also we can decide if the end point has the arrow. Or so these are a few changes you can make to your line design. We can also increase this to 4. Good. Which makes both the line and the effect bigger. Moving on, let's increase the stroke of this to 4 for so you'll be able to see it very well. Now, another thing we can change is the effect on our line. We can add effects to our line, and we can make add a drop shadow, make it blur, add inner shadow and all. So, but right now we would not want to do that. We would not want to do that. Now, let's see this effect. There are more effects you can add, like making it dash, making it. There are a lot of effects. Let's look at the effects we have. All right, so right here we can change the stroke style of our line. We can decide to make it solid, which it is right now, or we can make it dash lines, which gives us more options. Which gives us more options. Now we can decide to have more dash, let's say 9, or less dash 2, and we can, let's say 9, or then let's increase the gap to like 6. Let's increase the gap to like 10. All right, so and also we can change the cap. Right now it has no cap. This is a square cap, and we can have a round cap. So let's decide to go with a round cap and see what's happening here. We can see over here we have all the caps rounded, while if we choose a square cap, it will all be square. Now, depending on the project you are working on, you can decide to choose any of the styles that goes with your design model. So basically, there are a lot of configurations, a lot of decision making to do, a lot of choices you can go with to suit your particular design. So we say you are designing something more professional, something official, you can go with a square cap. But if you are designing something fun, something you want something to be cool, to look more friendly, more appealing, more inviting, let's say something for kids, something for fun, you can decide to go for the round cap, which looks actually more easy on the eyes, and more easy to the mind also. So it is very important to know how your main user, your end user thinks. You understand? It is very important to know these people I'm designing this product for, how do they think? How do they perceive designs? How do they see the world? You understand? So it helps you to make easy, quick, and more professional design decisions. All right. So okay, so we can also add the caps. We can also change the type of cards. Um, if you are using if you are using if without adding the gaps, you understand? Without adding the dash, we can also change the caps by coming here and changing it. You understand? So we can change it without adding the dash. It is very um possible to do that. All right. Since we are on dash, let us quickly look at the next shape, which is the arrow shape. The arrow shape, as the name implies, it is quite simple. Helps you draw arrows on your project. It is that simple. A lot of people may choose to use arrows from icon packs, and most of the time I don't use this arrow. Most of the time I don't use it, but it is there for your use. It is a lot. It is very user friendly, and I feel like you can also decide to use it depending on your preference. So the arrow tools helps you to draw arrows on your project and helps you to that's just it. Make arrows, and you can also make similar changes to the arrows, just as we did the line. That's why I decided to explain this arrow tool with the line tool. So basically, you can make these changes, and you can also achieve this by basically just changing the end points of this one to an arrowhead. So they are basically almost the same thing. It's just they have separate tools to carry out different assignments, but they are similar in some ways. All right. Thank you very much for watching this video. In the next video, we'll be looking at the ellipse tool. Now, this tool is very important because for almost every project you'll be working on, you will need to work with an ellipse. No matter what project you're working on, you will need to work with an ellipse. So, in the next video, we are going to be looking at the ellipse tool. What are the things you can do with an ellipse tool? And what are the ways you can make your ellipse tool fit into your design? Thank you very much for watching this video. See you in the next video.